let's go ahead and clear that away. The stuff up here is much harder and chunkier than the stuff down there, which is much more liquidy. He's been eating, moving around, hanging out with his buddy, but this is not good. You know, normal regular goat behavior. That is really hard stuff up there. Wow. I thought I could just wipe it, but it's thick, chunky, hard stuff. That's not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting liquidy, gooey stuff. It still stinks really bad. I'm definitely going to need them to get this out. This is necrotic tissue. This is no longer just infectious liquid. This is necrotic tissue. That's not good. At this point, that's his actual tissue that has become infected, that's sticking out. And all I can do is get as much of the goo out as possible. I'm going to say we need to get the shaver so I can shave this around so I can see better what I'm doing. I went ahead and cut between the two holes to see if I can get more of this tissue exposed, and if I can get up and around it, maybe I can cut it away. We'll see. It's really infected up and underneath that necrotic tissue. That's where the infection really is, right up underneath there. Yeah, gross. Yeah. That's where all that infection was coming from. It was up underneath there, and that's why it was so hard to get rid of. Alright, so I went ahead and cut that center divide in between the two, and you saw all the stuff that was gushing out before. It was gushing out from underneath this necrotic tissue, and that's why we were having so much trouble getting to it, because it was underneath the necrotic tissue. So, hate to do this, but I'm going to cut this necrotic tissue off. And you can see there's no blood. It's just dead. It's just dead. There's no blood in there at all. You didn't even feel that. Nothing. He's still not feeling that at all. The only blood there is coming from above it. I just wonder how far back that goes. Probably at least as far back as this. He's not jerking or moving or anything. There's still reeks. Oh, wow, got it. That is just nothing but necrotic dead tissue. That was inside the abscess.
Wow.
Gross. I'll bet you feel a lot better now. Ew. And we probably want to get all this ooze that's coming out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And this time we are going to pack it good with gauze. Because we have some. That's a huge abscess. I mean, it goes all the way up in here. Oh, he's trying to bolt. That he felt. It was just pretty much a gaping wound now. Huge gaping wound that we're going to need to pack. But thankfully it is cold weather, not fly weather. We're not going to have any flies worrying at it now. There's just a big gaping hole in his side. Pack that up with some betadine solution and some gauze. We've got this gaping wound here. I'm going to need to get all of the goo out of there. And there's still quite a bit of it.
Now he's reacting.
It goes up and underneath a bit. I'm taking my forceps here and going in as deep as it goes. You can see it goes all the way in to where the scissor action begins. I'm just gonna pump this wound full and try to flush out as much of that stuff as I can. Oh, there's some more stuff coming up to the surface here. Usually when you flood a wound like this, the stuff that's down very deep will start to float up. It's lighter than what you flooded the wound with. It's provided you irrigated the wound deep enough. And you went slowly enough for it to get down into the wound. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pack this wound with gauze that I've draped in betadine. Normally I would do a betadine and saline or distilled water solution, but like I said, we didn't have that on hand. Right now I just want to make sure that this stays sterile and that it doesn't close back up and get infected again. So we'll be packing it every day, repacking it every day, and keeping a good eye on it. And we want this to go down as far as the hole goes. It's kind of hard to see in there because of all the betadine, which is why you don't, one of the reasons why you don't use so much betadine. But also it's really not necessary to use that much. It's a waste of the medicine. So you might think that that's a bit too much, but actually it is good. It heals around the gauze, and each day you need a little bit less than you needed the day before. He's kind of got the idea that this is what we do now, and he just lays down on the stanchion and lets us do it. But I know it's obviously not his favorite thing, but he knows that this is what happens when he goes on the stanchion. So for a buck, he's a pretty chill dude. So anyway, again, I'm not a vet. This is not veterinary advice. This is just what we had to do here because we don't have a vet in our area. Normally, if we had a vet that would be able to do this for us, we would take care of it with a vet. I prefer not to do any kind of procedure like this on my own goats. Again, this is not veterinary advice. Do not try this. I'm just showing you what happened with us and our experience. It's not all rainbows and roses. Homesteading is tough.